I feel like usually when it comes to Football Manager transfers, I'm reasonably good at making good ones. This man right here, an absolute pain in the arse. He's been awful. He's been tragic. He's just not been good enough. I'll be completely honest with you. A-OK has not been A-OK. He's played 10 games, conceded 20, a 6.58 rating. I've dropped him and we've started winning. And now he's kicking up a fuss and I've had to promise him a fair amount of first-team football. I'll be honest, I might try and sell him in January. Would it be preemptive? Should I try and loan him out? The answer to both is probably a maybe. Yeah, well, welcome back to FC United. How's it going, folks, and welcome back to Park to Prem with FC United. Today we've got a couple of games towards the top of the table. First and foremost, we have York City away, a team who were in third when we left things. They're now down in sixth. And the other game that we have, the big one, Chesterfield at home. If we win it, we could cut the gap on them to 3 points. We do have a goal difference that is nearly twice as good as theirs, simply because we quite like scoring. 76 goals scored for, only 45 against, which, I mean, I've talked about our goalkeeping issue. It is a little bit of an issue, isn't it? We're not doing amazingly defensively, but look, we need to step things up. We need to improve, and I'm hoping that today we're going to do a little bit of that when it matters. Of course, last episode I came back, 1 win in 7 was the state of play. It's safe to say that this time around, things are a little bit better. That said, they did get worse before they got better. Of course, we left things with a win against Weymouth, an overdue win. We desperately needed one. And the next game was against Eastleigh, who were bottom of the league. Should be straightforward. Was it? No, it wasn't. We lost 2-1. We were the better team in this game. We didn't take our chances. Stephen Gold missed a penalty, and it did just feel like it was one of those days where it's not your day. We made some changes. Cannonier and Cabazuto came on and had relatively solid games, but ultimately we succumbed to a defeat against, well, the worst team in the league. I say that, actually, Eastleigh have got better since they beat us. They've actually been on a good run of form. But still, it was a result that stung. But the good news is, in the 5 games since then, we're unbeaten and we're still in the FA Trophy where we beat Chesterfield, a team who we will hope to beat again today in the league. They did play a rotated 11. I think we took it a little more seriously and we had a really good game. Fakini in this game got a hat-trick as a box-to-box midfielder. His last goal came from the penalty spot. Of course, this chap joined us from Norwich City. He's had an okay time, I feel like, so far at the club. A very good player for this level. He's quick, he's creative, and he's also in the process of signing a new deal at the club that would see the release clauses that exist vanish, which is really what we want to see, of course. Talked about it at the start of the year. I don't want to sign a load of players with release clauses just because there's that fear that you're going to lose them. In Matthias's case here, the good news is he signed this new deal, or is in the verge of signing this new deal that's going to get rid of those clauses. And yeah, I'm excited to have him tied down longer term. His wage is going to go up by £100, but that does feel like a small price to pay in the grand scheme of things. So moving on from that game, full steam ahead in 4 league matches. The first was against Fylde, who we beat 9-1 earlier on in the year. We beat them 6-0 in the league. I guess we're just quite good against them. It was Oakley Cannonier with a hat-trick in this game that really made the difference. Stephen Gold back on the score sheet as well. And well, that man has continued to be on the score sheet. A 2-2 draw against Dagenham and Redbridge followed. Tad bit disappointing, but we did rescue a late point via a Stephen Gold header. And then most recently, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, 3-0 against Yeovil. Again, Stevie Gold getting a goal, Cannonier looking good. And most recently against Hartlepool, a 5-0 win. Stephen Gold getting a hat-trick. He's back, everyone. 6 goals in his last 5 and an 8.92 rating in those 5 games as well. I'm a very happy, clappy chappy to see this man on the score sheet. And well, with all the games played, as you've already seen, we're up in second. I feel like today against York, we've got a chance to see what we're really made of. Can we maybe try and hunt down Chesterfield? Is the playoffs the best we're going to be able to hope for? We've had an easier run of games. I feel like now we go into a little bit more of a test. Now, you may have observed it is January. I haven't signed anyone. Financially, it just doesn't seem like the right thing to do. We have got £2,000 left on the wage budget. So if I wanted to go and sign players, I absolutely could go and do it. But, well, with the overall balance, with how we're doing on the pitch, I'm kind of quite content cruising along. The board expectation for this year, just as a reminder, is to avoid relegation, which I think we're going to do at this point, even after a rough couple of months. If we look at the season preview, we are up in 4th place. York, who are taking on today, have really overperformed so far this year. They're up in 17th. Chesterfield, you can see here, 2nd place. And then Southend, very disappointing. They were a team predicted to do well. They've been anything but impressive this year. And, well, you can see Southend dominates kind of the media dream 11, but for whatever reason, they've not been able to string together a sequence of performances just yet, but they have been on a good run, a team who maybe we do need to be a little bit wary of. But as you can see here, just looking at the form in the top right, there's not really anyone winning all their games at the moment. It's a competitive league, this one. And while knowing that it's competitive, I go into this game knowing that if we could win and Chesterfield lose, we could be in a situation where if we beat them in the second game today, we go to the top of the table. They are taking on Eastleigh at home. Of course, Eastleigh beat us. They're a team in form. We're going to hope that they can do us a favour today. So when it comes to our own team, the starting 11 has somewhat become settled. Harker has been in goal for the most recent run of games. He's kept a lot of clean sheets, only 4 goals conceded in his last 5 games. I say only, I think we conceded 4 of them in 2 games. He's been very, very impressive, much better than AOK, so I don't care if AOK is going to cry. Harker's the man with a plan. Across the back, it's Terry and Quantza in the middle. Crow is back in at right back. He's been out long term with an injury, which has been a massive, massive miss for us, to be honest. So it's really nice to have him back in the team. Over at left back, Matthew Blake has emerged as a bit of a hero this year. If we just compare him to Debayo, for me, I thought would end up being our starter this year after we signed him, just because he's quicker, he's got good mentals, he's not bad in the air. I feel like pace is always important in the wing-back position. But the way that things have played out, Matthew Blake's just been in pretty standard form. In fact, it's been beyond standard. Standard makes it sound average. He's been above average in form. He's done really, really well. He's almost become the Crow of left back. 7 assists, 2 goals in 19 games. Significantly more impressive than Josh. And yeah, the emergency backup has now become the emergency starter, it feels like. He's come in, he's a firefighter, he's solved a bit of a problem for us, and yeah, he's become a regular fixture of the back 5. Moving up into the midfield, we're going with Butterworth, Jones and Fischini. I feel like I just say Fischini's name different every time. I've seen multiple different pronunciation kind of examples given of how to say his name. Maybe I'll just call him Matty. Maybe Matty's better for everyone, or the Italian Stallion. Let's be honest, that's the go-to name for any Italian player I have. At centre attack and mid, we are going with Duffy. He went through a really rough spell when Gold was out the team. He's come back in, he's played really well, 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 5. Hopefully he is going to be able to kick on again today. And up top, we go with Gold and Cannoneer. Of course, Cannoneer joined us a couple of games into the year, really, initially to be a backup to Maitland, but my little mate has not played well this year. He's got 8 goals in 30 appearances, including 8 appearances on off the bench. But you can see the head-to-head comparison of the two of them here. Oakley Cannoneer has been top draw when he's played. He's been the more impressive player by a country mile. And at this point, he's just kind of established himself as Gold's partner in crime, I feel like. His goal scoring started off slowly, but it's definitely got better. And he is just finding himself in the team based on form. You can see here, when you look at the two players, you'd argue Maitland is way better. But at least for me in Football Manager, there's a point in time at which you have to look at players, analyse the situation, and just go with the player who's playing well. In that case, it's Oakley. So let's see how we get on today. York were up in 3rd. They've dropped down to 6th. They will be wary of the fact they could potentially drop out of the playoffs. As for ourselves, I feel like we've turned a little bit of a corner. I talked about it last episode. I feel like Football Manager is very momentum-based, and I do feel like with Gold back in the team fit, with the fixture schedules slowly kind of separating out, we're not having midweek games constantly anymore. We're in a position now where hopefully we can try and hunt down Chesterfield. That's certainly going to be the aim. As Blake whips it in and gives it to Oakley Cannoneer, that's why he's in the team. That's why Matty Blake's in at left-back as well. He's become the Dylan Crow of left-back. Yeah, that was an exceptional ball in actually by Blake. He is struggling a little bit with fitness. He did pass a fitness test. He can play the whole game. Maybe just keep an eye on him. The kind of player who I might look to protect in the later stages. That ball, though, was superb. Cannoneer's header was well directed. 10 minutes in, we get a critical goal, and we've been the better team so far in this match. And, well, it could go from good to great. If we could get another one here 6 minutes later, I'd be happy. Again, it's the far side where we're working the ball in. It's whipped in towards Gold at the back post. His header hits the crossbar on that occasion. And I've just noticed elsewhere, Eastleigh not doing us a favour. They're losing to Chesterfield already. Throwing on this near side, Dylan Crow to Fischini, who's, of course, on the verge of signing that new deal. And we are going to pick out Stephen Gold For goal number 31 of the year. 31! It's January. He missed a month. He's got 31 blooming goals. The man is he's insane. He's insane. There is no other way to phrase it. We put it in. I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing. He's done a busted jump. That's a very niche reference. If you know what a busted jump is, please acknowledge the fact you know what that is. Busted are a British pop band from like the noughties. I thought for a second their player had dived there and done a busted jump and fallen over, but apparently he was fouled. And while at 2-0 I felt happy, suddenly if they get a goal back 10 minutes before half time, I'm going to start to panic slightly. Garrick steps up, he smashes it into the top corner. Harker, not going to keep a third successive clean sheet. Not really his fault. I feel like his dive was actually quite good, the goalkeeper here. He just couldn't quite get his fingertips to it. And that 2-goal lead is cut to 1. And I am concerned now because Blake is on a booking. He's just given away another foul. I just shoom out in the left back area. And it's going to be whipped back post where the header goes just over. York looked a bit dead and buried at 2 goals down. Suddenly they've got a new lease on life, although we might have a free kick here. And usually Blake takes these, the left back. The Roberto Carlos of the non-league, he bends it and he hits the crossbar and it goes over. It was a crazy effort. Unfortunately, just the wrong side of the crossbar. And, well, to be honest, we played really well in that game. We started off the game well. York definitely grew into it. Of course, that penalty massively inflated their XG. At the break, maybe a tad fortunate to be 2-1 up. Going to tell the players I'm far from happy. This does not feel like a done thing just yet. I expect more goals in the second half. I say that, and then we are straight into another highlight here. It's going to be Jones, the man with no vowels. He might not be able to tackle as a ball-winning midfielder, but he has the brains and the physicals to do it. And do it, he does well. Gold could be through here. 1-on-1. Tries to find the bottom corner. Good save by the keeper there, but that was a chance, wasn't it? Very fortunate how it fell to Stephen Gold there. Not really his favourite area of the pitch, I feel like, to be dribbling forward like that, but yeah, ball finishing maybe let him down a little bit. We've got all these resulting corners, which, I don't know, I look at Gold and I look at Quansah and their big foreheads on the near post and expect it to end up in the back of the net. So far, they've done well. Also, pause our game for a second. Chesterfield-Eastleigh is 3-3. Are we at the wrong match? Can we get like a video feed in the box? Imagine if you could have picture-in-picture in Football Manager. We could just watch their game play out in the top right. So, Sports Interactive, get it added. I refuse to believe that in real life, managers don't watch other games going on at the same time on the bench. I mean, they definitely don't. But I would if I was a manager. I'd be the revolutionary. I can multitask. Can our defence multitask and do some defending whilst I talk? I don't know how that would be them multitasking. Look, we've got it away from danger. I'm talking a load of rubbish. I was about to pause and make a change. Then they have a highlight again. I don't like this. Davey, Moss to Furtado. Loads of space at the edge of the box. Does anyone want to tackle him? Apparently not. Right, Blake, you're on a booking. I'm scared. I'm going to take him off. Elsewhere, Duffy and Butterworth have not done well in this game. So you know what? I'm going to go for the double change. I'm going to bring in Jamie Dunn at centre attacking mid, and Maitland is going to come in and play centre mid on attack. Have I lost the plot? I mean, I'm now playing Maitland at centre mid. Some will say I've lost the plot. I think they're wrong. He's gonna score. I believe in him. I can't really justify taking off Golden Cannonair, and I just want to give Maitland first team football. So this is the solution. Anyway, here he is. Speaking of the devil, passing it to Gold. Cannonair can't quite get there. Ball played forward. This game is still in the balance. I've gone for the risky triple sub, which when there's a lot of time left to be played, could be a risk, but not when you've got Oakley Cannonair on the pitch. What was that? That was composed finishing for a player with 9 finishing. How did he get that? Was it Maitland with the assist as well? Was it actually? Oh my word, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Maybe Maitland's a centre mid. Cannonair shrugs off the defender, dinks it over the keeper, down the middle of the goal, it trickles. We're 3-1 up. We're having a party. I love it when a plan comes together. 8 minutes left. Free kick whipped in back post. Nodded down to Garrick. It's blocked away. Can we keep it in play? We can. It's Terry, the centre-back. Not really his area of expertise out wide, but he can pick out Gold's forehead. It's quite a big target to aim for. Maitland inside to Dunn. The 2 subs linking up there. Sams as well on off the bench getting involved. Maitland wide to Sams. This is really nice build-up play. Is there a bit of end product? If we can score from this, it could be a goal of the season contender. Foschini, Dunn, turns, and disappointing finish at the end of it all, really. We've been very, very clinical in this game. The XGs have actually been very close. Our XG just above 2, and we've managed to score 3. And for a second, I thought we might score another. Gold was lurking at the back post. Whiteley on this occasion is going to make the save. Try and get it forward. But I do feel like this game is probably done. 2 minutes of added time remaining. York, I mean, they've had chances to be fair, but when our chances have come, we've taken them. They've been a little less clinical, it feels like. Defensively, besides that kind of penalty, we've not looked too bad at all, to be honest. Restricted them to limited chances. And long shots like that one, which is just going to go over the bar. And I think that is going to be game, set, and match. I didn't see how the Chesterfield-Eastleigh game finished. It was 3-3 with a lot of time left in the second half. Did Eastleigh do us a favour? The answer is no. Well, they did. They drew. That's a favour, really. I can't expect Eastleigh in 20th to beat Chesterfield. But after we lost to them, I'll forgive them slightly for that. They hold Chesterfield to a draw, which means when we take them on, if we beat them, we can move within 1 point of top spot. The next game today is a biggie. We have got a few players that need a rest. Are they going to get a rest, you might wonder? Well, we have got the FA Trophy against Gloucester City up next. And then there's a week break to the Chesterfield game, which is the game we're going to come back for. Gloucester playing the division below us. It should be a straightforward result, even for a rotated team. I'm going to join you guys in a moment. Chesterfield up next. They're top. We're second. It's going to be a classic at Broadhurst Park. Let's see if we can get a little closer to them at the top of the table, shall we? I don't want to raise any alarms, but AOK is MIA. He's missing in action, everyone. He's been spotted leaving a nightclub. Yeah, I mean, what do you even say to it at this point? We lost in the cup. He was in goal in the cup. It was on the 16th, and then a day later, he's out clubbing. I don't even know what to say. We lost against a team in the lower division. I did rotate the whole team for it, but the FA Trophy dream might have to wait for another year if we don't get promoted, of course. If we get promoted, we can never win this competition. We got close to winning a couple of times. Yeah, we lost in a shootout. It was embarrassing. It was a rotated team. And as you saw, this man, Adam, he's been missing twice now. I'm trying to loan him out and nobody wants him because he's just joined. It's not great, is it? He's 18 years old. He's the highest earner at the club. He's just turned 18 and it's all gone to his head, basically. But anyway, we are taking on Chesterfield. This is first versus second. This is a big game for us. A defeat here, and I think we're kissing goodbye to our hopes of winning the league. A win here, we can move within 1 point. So this is critical. In terms of the team, a little bit of rotation needed. Butterworth has picked up an injury, out for up to 3 weeks. So he's going to be a big miss in the midfield. As a result, we're going to bring in the Italian stallion himself and play him as a centre mid on attack. This is a role he can play very, very well. So it's an easy switch over. And then Ibrahim is going to come in to play the box-to-box midfielder role because at least right now, he's not on international duty with Sudan. So he is actually able to turn up, which is always a bonus. Elsewhere in the team, though, no real other changes. As I mentioned in the Cup, I rotated things around with this game on the horizon. I've really prioritised this over the FA Trophy. And as embarrassing as a penalty defeat was, if we can win this game, I'm going to justify it and say we made the right decision in rotating things around. The fixtures have come thick and fast. The team was struggling. I didn't feel confident that we could get through that game without any injuries. And, well, we gave the players a bit of time off. Of course, Butterworth did get injured in that week where we were in training. But we come into this game ready and refreshed at home, knowing that this is a must-win game. If we win, I don't know, maybe the door to win the league just opens up once more. And, well, maybe it's then our job with what's left of the year to step through it. But before we can open the door, we've got to unlock it. That's what this game is here. Have we got the key? Let's find out. I'll tell you what, that metaphor went really, really deep, and I thought it might, lead to something, but it's now 35 minutes in. We finally have our first highlight of the game. We have been on top in this game, but they've lumped it straight down the middle, and we could be in trouble, except for the fact we've got Harker in goal. He's not MIA, he's not AOK, he is great. And, well, he's made a really, really big stop there in the one-on-one. Can we now look to maybe do something going up the other end? Not the best ball by Crow. Not sure Cannonier's the man to aim for with crosses, but the man who is there to aim for is Stevie Gold, who on this occasion heads over. So Chesterfield playing a free at the back, which is a little bit interesting. Obviously, with three centre-backs, you'd imagine they'll deal with balls into the air quite well. I say all of that, and then Fakini gets played through like that, goes all the way through. He's signed the new contract, by the way. Should have put a higher goal bonus in it. Then maybe he would have scored there. He's kicked it at the goalkeeper. We've had chances in this half, but at the break, it's 0-0. And, well, for being the better team, we've yet to really create that many meaningful chances. An XG of close to 2 doesn't really mean a great deal, but 58% of the ball, make that 59. Gold has taken a knock. It could be a twisted knee. I don't really want to risk it. I'm going to have to take him off here. He's injured, but he feels like he can continue. I do not feel confident in him doing that. So I'm going to make the change that I made when he got injured earlier in the year. Cannonier is going to play as a pressing forward. Maitland comes in to play advance forward. Jones on a booking scares me a little bit. You know what? Cabazuto, on you come. The double change happening. Some might call it a little bit reserved to take off Stevie Gold, but we've seen what we're like without him. A twisted knee is the kind of injury that I don't really want to aggravate more than needed. If we could come away with a draw, it wouldn't be tragic, but we would be more than a win behind. 4 points, we're relying on them to drop points on numerous occasions whilst we continue to close the gap. I'm going to just ask the players to play a little bit more direct here, try and get the ball further forward quicker with what remains. To be honest, they've created nothing. We've created just as little in this second half, and suddenly the game is almost done. It's the 87th minute. Is there a late twist here, though? Cannonier could be through. One-on-one, dinks it past the goalkeeper, and I'm justified in my decision to drop Stephen Gold. It was a quick free kick. Cannonier bursting through the middle. He scored a really nice finish in the previous game. He scored a very nice one here. Terry, the centre-back with it. Need to sign Terry at the end of the year, maybe. But great ball through by him. Really good finish by Cannonier. We will take that all day, every day. We take the lead. And with 4 minutes left, previously I've changed stuff in these games and we've blown it. I'm not changing anything. We're going to win 1-0. We have ridden our luck a little bit scoring so late. But I think on the balance of play, we were the better team. We probably should have won by a few more, to be honest. But that's the kind of performance we needed there. It was commanding. The result perhaps not as dominant as the performance itself. But we will take that nevertheless. And in case you can't tell by how excited I am, that does feel like a very, very big result. Elsewhere, Maidstone lost. So with, 14 games left of the year, it's looking like it's going to be a 2-horse race for the title. We look good in the playoffs, at least for now, although a couple of teams have games in hand. Things can change very quickly. But I don't know, this win, it just feels like a monumental moment for us. You can see Quantza picked up man of the match with an 8.3. Make no mistake, he has been sensational this year, stepping up for a season into a new level and into a new division. You never really know how centre-backs are going to handle that step up. And whilst, we're not scoring as many set pieces through him, he's got a 7.47. That's a very good rating for a centre-back, isn't it? Okay, so 2 huge results in the bag. We needed to win those games. We won them both. Bit disappointing to go out the FA Trophy, but on the flip side, it does allow us now just to focus on the league ahead. Next time out, I think we're going to come back sometime in mid-March. We'll see what games are coming up, see the lie of the land and make a call. We may even have our youth intake next time. I realised that last season I never mentioned the youth intake. It was so bad, it wasn't even worth talking about. And that, it looks like it could be the trend here again. I know it says an excellent intake. Every intake in Football Manager this year is apparently excellent until the kids get off the bus on intake day. That's how I imagine youth intake days work in Football Manager, by the way. There's just a big bus that rolls off and rolls up at the training ground, and all the players get off and you judge them. Look, we'll see if we have anyone good, but expectations aren't very high. If you have enjoyed today's video, as always, do drop a like on it. Really big result. We're getting towards the crunch point of the season, the ending of the season. I don't want to be in the playoffs, but at least right now we are. We need to continue on with this good vein of form. If we can keep it going, I'm confident we'll be back at the top of the table next time. I hope to see you then. And well, other than that, it is me, Jack. See you tomorrow. And yeah, I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.